With The Boys entering its fourth season, the hyper-violent superhero comedy has garnered quite the cult following. Streaming on Prime Video, the show has continually been growing in popularity since the release of its first season several years ago. One of the most widely loved characters on the show is its protagonist, Billy Butcher, played by Karl. To prove the internet's love for Billy, we've rounded up the 10 funniest tweets about the character. These tweets range everywhere, from humorous observations to full-on thirst tweets, so be sure to stick around to see them all. First up is an adorable admission of love. Our first tweet features a photo of Winnie the Pooh appearing to have an emotional conversation with Tigger and Rabbit, complete with tea and blankets. The original tweet reads, "IDK girls, I think I like him," with a Boys fan quoting in reply, "How I told my friends I'm into Billy Butcher." The joke here is completely by Rabbit and Tigger, both looking somewhat concerned at whatever Pooh is telling them. This may be because having an obsession with Billy Butcher could easily be seen as a red flag. What with him being manipulative, crass, and violent, he may not be the best person to have a serious thing for. But who are we kidding? There's a reason everyone is as obsessed with Butcher as they are. Next up is Billy's appearance in the video game world. Although as of right now, there aren't any plans for a The Boys video game in the works, fans will have to settle for the next best thing. Saints Row the Third. One Twitter user noticed their creator-made character took on a striking similarity to their favorite character on the show. They began by complaining about the lack of customization options in the game, leaving them with a character that looked overwhelmingly like the character on The Boys. They would humorously note, however, that their character was not quite up to the standards of the real deal. The tweet featured a photo of the character with the caption, "That ain't Billy Butcher, that's Bobby Meatpacker from the hit TV show The Dudes." Next on our list is a link between The Boys and Chucky. In an interesting link found between shows, someone noticed a similarity in locations between The Boys and the recent Chucky show. The tweet featured two screenshots from both shows showing the same house being used as a set. The tweet also featured a wide array of speculations that the two shows are taking place in the same universe. The tweeter would ask if Chucky is a soup and if Billy Butcher will ever get into an altercation with the evil doll. With how meta The Boys has been known to get, it's not out of the realm of possibility that this similarity will be referenced in Season 4. Who's to say if we might not even get a full-on crossover somewhere down the line? Stranger things have certainly happened. Coming up next is Billy's feline counterpart. In one of the goofiest tweets we have on our list, we have a cat who appears to have laser eyes due to the flash on the camera. One fan decided to reply to the photo with the caption, "He's the cat version of Billy Butcher." This is, of course, a reference to the moment in Season 3 when Billy Butcher takes Compound V. This results in him receiving Homelander's powers, which is heat vision. Who knows if this tweet will serve as inspiration for the next season of The Boys? Maybe cats will begin to receive Compound V as well as humans, and we'll see some felines with true laser eyes. Fans probably wouldn't be too upset if Billy Butcher ended up getting a kitty sidekick somewhere down the line. Next up is a fan coming up with something nice about the UK. When one Twitter user asked their followers to name something nice about the UK, one fan of The Boys simply had to bring up Billy. The tweet also featured a photo of the character sipping a cup of tea. With his penchant for British curses and tea drinking, Butcher is a perfect representative of the nation. It's hard to say if British people are a fan of how their country is being depicted through a character like Billy. However, with The Boys being made up of almost entirely American characters, having the protagonist be British certainly puts the UK in a positive light. Despite appearances on the show, Karl, who plays Billy Butcher, is not actually British, but a born and raised New Zealander. Up next is Billy being two halves of a whole. The first tweet on our list about the fan-favorite relationship between Billy and his partner Huey Campbell features a screenshot from the Nickelodeon classic Fairly Odd Parents. The screenshot shows Wanda and Cosmo, with Cosmo saying, "We're two halves of a whole idiot." It's tough to say which boy's character fits better with which cartoon fairy. If we had to pick, we'd say that Huey is more of a Wanda because of his strategic decision-making, with Billy being Cosmo because of his impulsive and reckless nature. Either way, picturing Billy and Huey being fairy godparents to a 10-year-old is an absolutely hilarious image and would make an amazing spin-off series. Next up is a meta take on the comic series. This next tweet comes in response to someone showering praise upon the original comic book series that the show is based on, written by Garth Ennis. The comic features significant plot differences from the show, but still contains the insane overall spirit of the show. In the original tweet, the Twitter user praises the comic for everything from its plot to its writing, fight scenes, world building, and art style. Someone then replies by saying that with all its chaos, that The Boys is like a comic written by Billy Butcher. This is the type of meta observation that fits right into The Boys universe. With all all the insanity that takes place in both the comic and the show, it would honestly make a lot of sense for it to be coming from such a mind as Billy Butcher. Up next is an observation about Billy's long rap sheet. This next set of tweets originally began with a long write-up, too small to read, with the caption, "Which character of the boys are you defending like this?" Amongst other characters fans are quick to defend, one of the most popular answers, of course, was Billy Butcher. This led to some fans claiming that Butcher hasn't even done that many bad things on the show that would need defending. This led to Twitter user Butcher Archive replying with Billy's not insubstantial rap sheet. This would include a whopping 12 different crimes ranging from torture, fraud, and conspiracy to kidnapping, stalking, and murder. Despite being the hero of the show, Billy is far from being a completely innocent man. To be fair, most of these crimes were committed against people and soups who fully deserved it. Regardless, lucky for him, he has a legion of fans online ready and willing to defend him tooth and nail. Next up is something a fan noticed on the Boys Wiki. The crime list from our previous tweet can be found on the Boys Wiki, along with this funny observation someone made about Billy's status. The character is not simply listed as alive, but with the qualifier dying in parentheses next to it. This is likely a reference to Billy's unrelentingly self-destructive nature. To be fair to Billy, he not only lost his wife Becca and witnessed his brother's suicide, but he also had an unbelievably abusive childhood. Especially with the chaotic events of the show, Butcher is far from being a stable character. Aside from his self-destructive behavior like speeding up his inevitable demise, Billy is also growing increasingly dependent on Compound V, which will only spell disaster in the long term. Even though Billy is caught somewhere between being alive and dying, we as fans can appreciate him while he's still around. Finally, is Huey Campbell speaking on Billy through the voice of Oprah Winfrey. The final tweet on our list is a tribute to Billy's undying friendship with his sidekick Huey Campbell. The relationship between the two is one of the online fanbase's favorite things to joke about, and this tweet is no exception. It begins with a description of Billy's character, describing him as dark, egotistical, self-destructive, flawed, and vengeful. What follows is Huey's description of his best friend, through the voice of Oprah Winfrey. In the heavily memed clip, we see a tearful Oprah saying, "She is the mother I never had. She is the sister everybody would want. She is the friend that everybody deserves. I don't know a better person." The relationship between the two characters is one of the things that makes both of them so likable, and is likely what is keeping so many people hooked on the show. Despite all their flaws, the two characters truly seem to bring out the best in each other, and are really the friends they both deserve. Are you just as big a fan of Billy Butcher as these superfans? What's your favorite tweet on our list? Are you pumped for Season 4 of The Boys? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.